Beep is a bitch. Gotta watch that Fast and the Furious in the background.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Whoa. It was a quick one today, folks. I don't know what just happened. Technical difficulties, whatever. It's the kind of week it's been for the Yankees, for baseball. Big technical difficulty this week. Welcome to Empire 161, episode number 10. I am Mr. Tim Tabala, even though down there it says Hercules Mulligan. I've been a little obsessed with Hamilton lately. My co-host today, of course, always, Mr. Ed Camus. Ed, what's going on?
What up, Tim? What's up, Hercules?
Rough week for the Yankees. Rough week for baseball. A lot of stuff to talk about. Let's just dive into the funness that is Major League Baseball in 2020. And of course, we're going to start with our new favorite TWIB notes. So what do we got this? What we can start off with? I hope you know what. Actually, I want to start off with one thing in particular.
Go ahead.
That's the Grand Slam. That's the 3-0 Grand Slam nonsense.
That was the first on my notes.
Good. I'm glad because that was something. Yeah, I said we did a show a couple weeks ago about the unwritten rules of baseball. And I'm sorry, I gotta play it. Gotta play it real quick. It's TWIB notes. God, I love that music. All right. So who was it? Fernando Tatis Jr., right?
Fernando Tatis Jr. swung at a 3-0 pitch with the bases loaded with a 7-run lead in the 8th inning against the Rangers the other night. And right after that, the reliever who gave it up, Ian Gabo, he was the one to give up the Grand Slam. He then threw behind Manny Machado's head. And right after that, as a retaliation to showing up. But yeah, Tim, I was thinking the same thing when I heard about this. The unwritten rules. Go ahead. Just get to what you were going to say.
No, I was going to say the world exploded. The world exploded because this guy swung at a 3-0 pitch. Give me a break.
It was Alderaan.
Yeah, it's like what are you getting all so excited? Who cares? How many times have you seen teams come back late in games? 7. The White Sox just hit 4 consecutive home runs to win a freaking game. It can happen. People need to stop with the unwritten rules that are so old school. That who cares, man? If you want to beat them, score the runs. It's as simple as that. You can't get mad at this dude for swinging at a down the middle pitch with the bases loaded. I mean, it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, you said it, and I think I'm going to credit Jeff Passan on Twitter, who goes for ESPN. He said it perfectly. He goes, they're the unwritten rules because if you actually write them down in the rule book, you're going to see how stupid they sound and how they look. Tim, I'm with you 100% that, yeah, it's a lot of BS, man. Plus, you got baseballs trying to, go with the initiative and the ad campaign of let the kids play, let them have fun and all this other stuff. And you got one of the brightest young stars in the game killing it this season. I mean, he's destroying the league right now and in a good way. Yeah, man, enough with the, get off my lawn crap, man. Just let them play, let them go, the bat flips, all of it, man. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And the way the balls are flying out of the ballpark the last couple of years, home runs are flying, a 7-run lead could disappear like that. Now, for some people, and I know, of course, Mad Dog Chris Russo has his issues with it because this is what he does. But
that's what he does.
So the weird part was, both managers addressed it after the game. And the Padres manager, he didn't even go ahead and back his guy, which is pretty messed up when you think about it. You got to have the kids back. And then the Rangers manager, screw him. He's whining and crying about it too. And then you got the the reliever who gave up the cookie. He's thrown behind Machado's head. You want to talk about unwritten rules of baseball? You're thrown behind the guy's head after his teammate hit a grand slam? Come on with this bullshit. What was awesome? No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it was kind of dope. Is that I was going to add to that is that as of yesterday, the Padres became the first team in Major League Baseball history to hit 4 grand slams in consecutive games. Yep. I mean, we're not Padres fans and stuff, but good for them, man. Seriously, good for them.
Yeah, because I don't understand what some of these people want. As far, you know what they want? They want the 50s again. They want the guy to trot around the bases with his head down. They want Mickey Mantle. Put your head down. You trot around the bases. When he gets a home plate, maybe you shake a hand. Maybe you just go into the dugout. Sometimes they shake a hand. Oh, shook a hand. That's showing the pitcher up. No, it's not.
Yeah,
celebrate. The kid hit a grand slam.
It's not easy.
That is? It's not easy hitting a grand slam. I don't care if they were up by 2 or 5 or 10. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah. Get the runs back then. That's all you're gonna do. It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those rules that I don't think that even came up in our list of unwritten rules. I don't think it did.
No, that didn't, because you want to know something? There's like an infinite amount of unwritten rules of baseball that there's no tracking of them. No one could ever write them down and tell you all of them. So that's why we've never even got to that. And I mean, yes, it's like a sportsmanship thing, if you want to say. It's like I was explaining this to, I don't know who the hell it was. You could look at it like a team's up by 10 in basketball, right? With 20 seconds left. Usually they'll dribble the clock out or take the 24-second violation. And if they just chucked up a 3. You want to know something? These guys get paid on stats and everything like that. If the guy spots up and takes the 3 and drains it, that can make him some more money in his next contract. So whatever, man. I have no problem with it. The other layer to this was supposedly Tatis was given the take sign on the 3-0 pitch. But his manager shouldn't be doing that either. And he says he missed it. He says he missed the sign. It's not like, because there was debate of, is he just, ignoring his manager and just doing what he wants? That's a different aspect to this. But the manager shouldn't be doing that either. Hey, swing away, kid. Whatever.
See, Steve is on. He said, and the Blue Jays were down big yesterday. Showed why you swing no matter what. 7 runs, 6th inning, and a 7th inning doubleheader. Exactly. You don't know what can happen in one of these freaking games. Yeah, exactly. The NFL was becoming the no fun league, but they loosened up at least with the celebrations, because that was ridiculous. So you can't do this, you can't do that. But I asked him that. I don't know what baseball wants. What are the? Well, not all baseball. I'm saying these guys who are bitching about this. It's so stupid. Let them have fun.
I agree with Steve what he's saying about the mercy rule, which I don't want. That I definitely don't want to see.
No.
But he's right. If you can't have it both ways, let them play. Whatever happens, happens. Tim, you've heard me say 1,000 times, probably more over the years. People ask, why don't you leave games early? Apparently, unless I'm in Fenway Park puking my guts out. But I don't leave games early because you don't know what could happen. There's no clock in baseball. It's part of the beauty of the game. You can't, take a knee and run the ball out or something like that, or just like have an out or something. You can't do that. So it's, it's a part of it. Technically,
it's not football and basketball where, all right, you're up by football, you're up by 6 touchdowns. You pull your starters. You put the backups in. Yeah. You can't do that in baseball. You pull those guys, they're done. Yeah. They can't come back in. They can't come back in an emergency.
Exactly.
Same thing with basketball. You're up by 50. Pull your starters. Now, if they get close again, you put your starters back in to maintain the lead. Baseball doesn't let you do that. It doesn't let you do that. So I don't see the big deal. It's a bunch of crybabies.
Yeah. Well, that's why when you have one team that's up by a bunch, right, and then a team that's down starts pulling out their starters and putting in their bench guys, that's where there's an unsaid thing like, okay, they're waving a white flag, they're tapping out. You end up doing the same. You get your guys rest, and then, I mean, I haven't seen where then a team will come back once the starters have all been out, but it could happen in theory. It could happen. But usually there's a gentleman's agreement where it's like, all right, I'm showing you I'm tapping out. I'm going to go ahead and take my guys out. The other team does, and then they play, though. Whatever happens, happens. If my bench guys find a way to come back against your guys, you're right, Tim. Then you're handcuffed. You're like, what do I do then?
Thanks, boss. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those, again, every week now we're going to have a new unwritten rule that we didn't talk about being popped up there. So you can't. Now I get, like you said, we talked about that too. I know bat flips. Okay, fine. There's a difference between watching the ball and showing up the pitcher. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. And if you don't know the difference, then that's your problem. Staring at the pitcher, staring into the opposing team's dugout, that's kind of being a dick. And I don't go for that. But if watching the ball, if I hit a 500-foot home run, I'm watching that bitch leave. I'm watching it go all the way out. I'm sorry if I'm not halfway to first base already. I'm admiring my home run. I'm not showing you up. I'm not showing your team. Now, like I said, but the guy stared at the pitcher, like Stanton did because the guy hit him that time, or you're staring to the dugout. Completely different thing. All right, maybe you're going to get drilled next time you're at bat. But, I mean, the rest of it's nonsense.
Yeah, the guys got to get over that. I still go back to the last World Baseball Classic when it seems like things like there was an agreement where we're going to lighten things up. Like the Dominican team was celebrating, and they're usually excited about things, and they show their emotion. And the Puerto Rican team, and then the USA team did the same thing. So why not? I actually made me more, and it made it more fun. And I know, I love the World Baseball Classic. I'm a sucker for baseball and international competition. So I'm all in, but I liked watching that. I enjoyed seeing the guys celebrate and have fun, man. Why not?
Absolutely. All right, let's move on before we get any more angrier. What do we got next?
All right, so also going in with some more fun stuff is so Major League Baseball stopped the Reds starting pitcher Trevor Bauer he was going to rock some custom cleats that said "Free Joe Kelly." I meant to go get the damn picture of it because I wanted to put it up when we had this, but yeah, he was going to rock these cleats in the second game of a doubleheader on Wednesday, and then baseball told him if you wear them, you're going to have to be removed from the game and possibly disciplined. That's a bunch of BS too. Whatever. Again, let them. It's cleats. They're cleats. Who cares? But apparently, also in that set, it was a wild day for the Reds in general because they also one of their play-by-play guy, Tom Brenneman, was canned because he got caught by a hot mic, using a derogatory term, which just, I mean, whatever. We can get a whole discussion about that. But, what are you doing? You're just dropping them freely, hey, what's going on? I didn't know the mic was back. It kind of reminded me of Anchorman. When they're it's on the side and they're just going and reeling off random, curses and everything else. So Fox also pulled him because he does NFL also for them. He's been pulled from the season. His career is probably done now. But that's ridiculous. Wild things going on that Red series for that doubleheader.
But I love the fact that Joe Kelly is a hero. I love it. And I love it. Anything the Astros get this year, they deserve every bit of it. And I just read too. Someone said they called up Altuve, said I'll send you a pair or something like that. Wasn't it something along those lines?
No, he was going to send it to Carlos Correa.
Oh, Carlos Correa. I knew it was one of those assholes.
Yeah, he was going to send them to Carlos Correa. And also Trevor Bauer, I don't know if you remember, but against the Royals last year when he was on the Indians, when he was getting taken out, he took the ball and threw it over to center field in Kauffman Stadium. He had a shirt on. He took his jersey off.
I saw that, yeah.
He had a shirt commemorating it. I mean, the dude's he's out there, but he's having a phenomenal season. I'll tell you that much. He's crushing it.
It's fun. Are they going to get fined for that? He probably will get fined for that, even though the game is over. They'll probably get fined for that. Give me a break. This commissioner sucks.
Well, it's just baseball in general. They need to lighten up, guys. You have to lighten up a little bit. And you're the ones with the ad campaign that says let the kids have fun. So actually follow through on it and let them have some fun. They're not hurting anybody, man. And a lot of people are saying baseball needs to catch up with the times. Football's learn to lighten up a bit. Basketball's lightened up. Hockey's lightened up a lot of things. Like baseball, you got to join the party, man. Just lighten up and let the kids have fun, as you say.
I gotta stop talking about the Astros too, because every time I talk about the Astros, I have to click the explicit button at the end. So people know, because I always end up cursing about them. So, all right, whatever. Let's keep going.
So we mentioned we mentioned a little bit of the Indians and Trevor Bauer's with them. So that goes into a subject we touched on last week. So, they had two of their pitchers, Zach Plesac and Mike Clevenger. So they were both demoted by the Indians this week, and both are having Zach Plesac's had a 1.29 ERA with a 24-2 strikeouts, a walk ratio over his first 3 starts this season. Clevenger's one of the best young pitchers in the game. He's had a 2.96 ERA over the past 3 seasons. But after both of them broke curfew last week, they returned back to the team, and you knew that they were going to catch a lot of heat from their teammates. So apparently there was a huge rift in the clubhouse, and actually former Met star Oliver Perez is the one who spoke up, though. He's a veteran now. He spoke up in the team and said, listen, I'll opt out if these 2 kids are on the roster. He was just one of the people that was saying that. So they sent him down for a while, and that's going to cause a lot of weird stuff going on because it could affect service time, however long they're going to stay down there. So by keeping Mike Clevenger down, the Indians could delay his free agency by a year, and Plesac, his free agency could be delayed until 2022. So there's a lot of weird stuff that can go on with that.
Now they're in the upside down. And nothing they can do about it.
They've been sent to the upside down. There's going to be a lot of upside down today. Just for those, who know.
What don't people understand? Like, this isn't like a big deal. You could die. You could kill your teammates. You could kill their family members.
Well,
that's what I don't understand. Like, while watching Hard Knocks too, they're really nuts with everything that's going. They got bracelets that makes them stay 6 feet apart at all times. If it's red, you're too close to somebody. You got to back off. I think that's a great idea. I mean, how it's going to play out in the regular season, if there is a regular season, Lord be with us.
Like the Running Man, right? Well, which was it? They had the prison with the things that
yeah. They'd beat if you get too close to the gate. That's what the NFL players. Well, I know about the whole NFL, but the Chargers and the Rams. I don't know. One of them was wearing them, and when you get too close to your teammates, even on the sideline during practice, beep. Well, gotta go. And if you forget your bracelet, 50 G's, fine.
Love it. I love it.
50 G, because one of the players was like, "Oh, I forgot my bracelet. Should I go get it?" And the guy's like, "Yo, 50 G's," because I'm going to go get it. And he ran and got his bracelet. Fantastic. But what baseball can do without that, I don't know. But
since they're not in a bubble,
they got to smarten up these dudes, man. It's not. I mean, how do they not understand? You're not catching a cold here.
There's a lot of. We can go through that with a lot of just baseball players and a lot of people in general. It's not the flu. It's not the sniffles. It's not anything. And to tie in with that story, by the way, the last part to it is, so one of the Indians pitchers, Carlos Correa, is considered higher risk because he was treated for leukemia just last year. So these guys know that. It's not like they don't know that. And they still did what they did and came back to their team and lied their asses off also. So that's pretty bleeped up. If that you ask me, man, like, you could kill the guy. That's pretty screwed up.
All right, let's move on. We have to come back to this COVID crap anyway at the end. So let's move on now.
Eyes it up nicely.
Yeah.
So the MLB ratings are they've been up. I mean, you would assume that would be the case, being that everyone's mostly home, no one's attending games. So MLB ratings are up overall. The main driving points, though, have been actually women and the youth demographic, which is where they've struggled in the youth demographic for a while. And it's actually down in one area where it's men over 55. So I think they're going to, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're watching golf. I don't know. Who the heck knows what they're watching? But overall, though, ratings are up, but you would just think that it would be because baseballs have been known for a while to be like the older guys game and stuff like that their ratings are usually driven by older men. But no, it's actually everyone else has been getting down with it. I mean, hey, glad to see people watching baseball and joining in on the game. All for that.
Oh, I'm sharing out the show here. I forgot to make sure.
I kind of feel like there was something else that popped up, but no, dude, I don't.
This week has been such a weird week. That's just a weird week.
Yeah. There's always going to be something. I was actually, when I was doing the notes the other day, I'm thinking to myself, man, TWIB's going to be pretty quick this week. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. And we're like, okay, now we have a full plate.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, though, I'm going to interested to see what's going to happen now. Half the team going to opt out? What's going to happen? And the delaying the free agency, that's one thing that they're going to really feel that. They're going to feel that big time.
Yeah. There was one last thing that I meant to bring up. So, and a further update, it's not a lot, but apparently, Texas and California are the front runners for potential postseason bubble, because that's what baseball's looking at. I mean, you can't have these games delayed and stuff in the middle of a playoff series. So they are looking at doing a bubble for the playoff series for the postseason this year. So that's actually really good. Those are considered the two front runners right now. But New York is in the mix. New York and I think it was Chicago and Milwaukee were potential bubbles, because I'm assuming there's going to be an NL and an AL bubble. So those are the ones that are being looked at. It would be pretty cool, man, if it was here in New York. I mean, we've done our things. We've wore our masks. We've did our social distancing, and things are going well. And we have Yankee Stadium. We got, Citi Field. We got Staten Island. We got Brooklyn. We got Buffalo. So we got a lot. So baseball, bring it. We'll host the AL. Don't worry about it.
For the first time, I was watching MLB Network, and the guy said, "Let's go Buffalo," and I was like, "What?" I forgot. And I was like, "Yeah, the Buffalo Blue Jays." So I was like, "Oh my God, you're right. I completely forgot about that."
Pretty nice ballpark, though.
At least I have a home now. Man, let's just move to Buffalo. Shoot Toronto.
Yeah, they love them though, man. When I was there, when I went to Toronto, they do love the Blue Jays, and Angie could sing you the "Let's Go Blue Jays" song, and like it got stuck in her head, and it was like a nightmare for like a month.
No thanks.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Oh, by the way, I'll shout out right now to Angie. Happy birthday, Ange. Have a good day later.
Yes. Happy birthday to my wife.
All right. So, what are we going to the Yankees notes now?
Yeah, let's do it. I want to. We definitely got to work on a better thing for this.
Well, this is depressing. But I don't want to go to Yankee note because it's depressing. It's a depressing week for us. Very, very depressing week for us. So,
okay. So, how about this? I'm going to start off on the positive note.
All right. Start on the one positive note.
Yes, the positive note is that the Yankees weren't expected to have Aaron Judge back tomorrow when he was eligible to be activated. He was taking. Les has been showing clips of him running on the field, taking BP. You know, he's looking good. He actually even said that he was trying to, debate with Boone if he should even go on the IL because he felt it was just, a day or two and he'd be all right. But the Yankees decided, I have no problem taking the cautious route and saying, hey, listen.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you because the judge was very adamant saying he does not want to go on the IL. He doesn't need to go on the IL. He's fine. But, yeah, Boone's saying take care of it now instead of later, rest it out. So, yeah, I kind of agree, too, even though, he didn't just cost us these games. When you start losing the guys that we lost this week, it's not just Judge or Stanton or whatever. So, let's start with that fun list.
Yeah, so, all right, so pretty much that's – well, actually, there was a trade earlier today, too, about an hour or two ago that was announced.
Really?
I'm going to stick with the – yes.
Okay,
the Yankees traded often DFA'd reliever David Hale, who was his latest DFA was earlier this week. He was traded to the Phillies for relief pitcher Addison Russ. When I first saw it pop up, I thought they traded for Addison Russell. I was like, okay. Are they expecting LeMay not to be back anytime soon? And they figured Glaber's going to be gone. I was like, oh, damn. But no, it's relief pitcher Addison Russ. The 25-year-old right-hander has been dominant over his minor league career with a 2.48 ERA and 200 strikeouts and only 152 in the third innings. But he will be sent to the Upside Down to start his Yankee career.
Wait a minute. Isn't David Hale like 35 years old?
I'm going to tell the truth. I think he's around 30. Or he looks older. But listen, they DFA him every third game anyway. So they weren't missing him. But Girardi wanted him. So
I was going to say, it's a good deal for us if his kid's 25 years old.
Now, but the thing is this, dude. If you're the Phillies GM, you're not going to be skeptical now because Cashman's been pulling off these crazy deals, like sending Chase and Shreve to St. Louis for Luke Voigt and getting Gleyber Torres and signing Chapman back later on in the offseason. He's pulling crazy trades out for Mike Tauchman and signing Gio Urshela. This kid might be the next Mariano Rivera, who the hell we know. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, so when I see the Yanks trade for anybody, I'm like, oh, Cashman knows something. His scouting department knows something. This kid's going to be damn good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be brought back from the Upside Down sooner than later. But that unfortunately ends – well, actually, there could be a slight positive. I'm going to try to stick on the positive end with this. So James Paxton, who felt forearm discomfort during his start yesterday, he actually went for his MRI and it came back clean. His MRI was clean. No Tommy John recommended, which is good. But he officially has a strained flexor, and he will hit the IL, but hopefully just not too long. Because when you ever hear forearm strain or anything like that, or discomfort in the forearm, my mind immediately goes to Tommy John because that's usually what happens right after. So thankfully, that's not the case. You can maybe rest it out. He comes back soon enough because he was starting to pitch pretty good, even though he's Mr. 3-run runs automatic no matter what. But he's been showing flashes of dominance. Hey, listen, you're going to give us 5-6 innings and 3 runs or less, then I like the Yanks' chances normally during those situations when they have their full lineup. Unfortunately, earlier this week, too, Zach Britton hit the IL with a left hamstring strain. Miguel Andujar was optioned to the Upside Down.
We jinxed the hell out of him.
Yeah, we did.
Ever since we talked him up, he blew a save, he gave a bunch of runs, and now he's on the IL. So no more Zach Britton talk on this show. We'll call him we're going to call him ZB or something like that. We're not going to mention his name anymore.
He is the Brit. Miguel Andujar was optioned to the Upside Down. They recalled Ben Heller and Miguel Uribe. ERA. They recalled him from the upside down. Interesting fact about him, though, he is the first player in Major League history to wear the number 89. That's ridiculous.
Really? That's weird.
That is completely ridiculous. I was shocked, completely shocked when I heard that.
And Duhar, man, I'm starting to feel for the guy. He can't get his stuff together, man.
Yeah,
and it hurts us too as far as starting to trade him.
Yeah.
You can't trade it. You can't trade a guy batting 111. Whatever the hell he's batting right now.
Listen, the Yanks would love nothing more than to pop in 1 week and tear it up for like a week straight and have the best week of his life, and then right before the trade deadline's next week, and then
pitcher. Give us a
Yeah.
pitcher. We don't even want a top line. Give us a 2 or 3. We don't care. Just give us a pitcher, please. Someone who can go right now. I'm drinking a giant bottle of ginger ale, by the way, in case because stomach's a little iffy today. So just ignore me. All right, so we're gonna start with the bad news now.
Well, no, there you go. That was Zach Britton started it off.
My number one.
Oh, good.
No, my number one was LeMahieu. That was my number. I almost went into a deep depression after I found out about LeMahieu because, I mean, come on.
It's rough.
I didn't want to talk about it.
Well, look at it this way. Tomorrow will be 1 week since it's happened. He'll hopefully be back in another week or two after that, and we'll see what happens. It turns out he did have a similar injury with the Rockies a couple of years ago, and he was actually back pretty quickly. So hopefully that he airs on the positive side with that. Back to the bad news though. Gleyber Torres did leave yesterday's game with hamstring tightness. I know he was going for an MRI today, but I didn't see anything pop up on that unless it's already on now. So fingers crossed it's just tightness. Maybe the weekend off will help out and he'll be back, ready to go on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed though, because he was also starting to put it together as well. He was starting to hit little by little. Defense was starting to come around. So, fingers crossed he's okay. That's pretty much what we got for Yankees notes.
It was a depressing week, man. All horrible.
Well, and the recap, we'll do the same thing. It works that way. We start with extremely positive and then extremely frustrating.
Well, that's the way the week was anyway. So leading up to right now. Well, yeah. All right, let's get into that review then. Aside, it's all positive in the beginning, all crap at the end. So
yeah, so the Yanks, without burying the lead, they did sweep the Red Sox last weekend. Right starting Friday night, Yanks got a 10-3 win over the Sox. Garrett Cole's best start as a Yankee, in my opinion. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, only giving up 1 earned run. It seems to be always a solo shot while striking out 8. He extended his personal winning streak of 7 straight over the Red Sox and notched his 20th consecutive winning decision dating back to May 27th of last season, tied for the 3rd longest streak in MLB history. Gleyber Torres, who we just mentioned, who was getting it together, he was 4 for 4 in that game with a double and 2 RBIs. Mike Tauchman was 3 for 5 with 4 ribbies himself. And Gary Sanchez hit his 3rd homer of the season, a 457-foot bomb into the left center field bleachers. So, yes, another thing that gets buried in a lot of things is Gary Sanchez was starting to show some power and coming through, and that was getting going. So, we're going to need him soon, man. He might have to carry the team.
We better.
Hopefully he can turn back the clock to 2016 or 2017. So Yanks followed up that win with another 11-5 win over the Red Sox last Saturday. Aforementioned James Paxton got his first win of the season, going 5 innings and the magic 3 runs, because it's always 3 runs a game. The star of that game was Clint Frazier, who went 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer, his 2nd of the season, drove in 5 RBIs. So there are in the Yanks history, there have been 3 players on the Yanks that have went 3 for 3 with 5 RBIs or better versus the Red Sox. That's Frazier last Saturday, Robinson Cano back in 2012, and Lou Gehrig in 1930. So exactly. Those are the only 3 players to ever do that. More props to Katie Sharp on Twitter, who has these insane facts, and it's pretty awesome. The Yanks kept on rolling at that point with a 4-2 win on Sunday Night Baseball over the Red Sox. Home Run Half got his first win of the season, going 5 2/3 with an earned run and 3 Ks. And it just feels like we're mentioning all the guys that are all in the IL now. Zach Britton got his 8th save of the season at that point. Mike Ford proved to be Ford tough again, went 2 for 4 with a home run, his second of the season, and 3 RBIs. The note from that game is so Happ was apparently got into it with Boone a little bit for taking him out when he did. And it went a little bit further where he was complaining about getting skipped in a rotation at one point. Happ, come on, dude. I mean, are you watching the games? Are you seeing what's happening out there? Like, if you get skipped, you're the fifth starter. Suck it up, man.
You're the definition of just lucky to be here. That's your definition. Just lucky to be here. Sorry, dude. No offense, but yeah, you're lucky to be here. So enjoy it. Enjoy the run.
It's true. And with Paxton out for a little bit, they're going to need you to step up. So if you don't want to get skipped, keep pitching better. Pitch kind of like you did on Sunday. He was supposed to go tonight against the Mets.
That would have been a disaster.
Yeah. Well,
Mets are starting to hit. So let's be happy this series might never get postponed. I don't want Happ pitching.
So Monday night, Yanks completed the sweep 6-3 over the Red Sox. Michael King got his first win of his career, going 3 innings in relief. Jordan Montgomery he was looking pretty good early on, but he got pulled after a 90-minute rain delay because that's what we do, many rain delays for the Yanks this season. And the positive note is we actually got someone off the IL. Aroldis Chapman made his return, his season debut on Monday night. 9th inning, he did give up 1 earned run, but did strike out 2 and did yes. Yo,
dude, the dude's jacked.
He's normally jacked. He's normally jacked, and he was like extra jacked.
No, that uniform didn't even fit him. That's how jacked he was. Dude, he has Popeye forearms. I was like, yo, look at his forearm. What the hell is he doing?
Dude, when he first came out of the bullpen, I'm looking at him like, is he wearing like a kid's jersey or something like that? Like, what the hell's going on here?
I've been watching him on social media getting ready all year, and like, you know, I know he's been working out, but dude, when he came out and I said in the pinstripe, I was like, yo, that thing's gonna rip off from Hulk style. He's just jacked up. I was like, he threw that ball. I was like, oh, don't hit me with that ball, please, because you're gonna kill. He's already throwing 100 easy, so yeah, man, he got jacked though.
Yeah, looked good though. I mean, his fastball was there, like you're saying. He's at 100, 101. He was looking like Chapman of old, so that was good to see. In that game, Luke Voit was 2 for 4. He banged out 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Aaron Hicks was 2 for 4 with a double, 2 ribbies. And Tyro Estrada hit his first home run of the season. And we got to see it was Tyro hits one to Cairo was John Sterling's home run call. And I'm like, this guy, he's not even trying anymore. It's just whatever. Voit hits one to Detroit. He's Detroit. I mean, whatever, man. Yeah. The Yanks' dominance over the Red Sox has gotten pretty crazy when you especially look at the recent numbers. 10 straight over the Red Sox, 11 straight home games they've won over the Red Sox, 15 of the last 16 games overall versus the Red Sox, and 15 of 16 of the last home games versus the Red Sox. So the rivalry has definitely shifted in one direction for now. The Red Sox are looking pretty bad this season, but you gotta pick up those wins against the lesser teams. If you're going to be one of the elite teams in the game. And then we get to the next series where the Yanks were swept by the Rays 3 straight. We'll get into the overall look of it, but Tuesday night they lost 6-3 versus the Rays. Tanaka pretty much was throwing beach balls up there. He did not look good, even though I do love Tanaka, but that was pretty bad. He went 4 innings, giving up 5 runs. Yanks were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Big point in the game was when Luke Voit went down swinging went down looking with the bases loaded, and then Gio Urshela grounded out to end that rally. That was their point to get back into that game. But early in the game, Voit and Gary Sanchez did both homer, and Voit hit out of the leadoff spot in that game, which was pretty interesting to see. Next day, Yanks would lose again 4-2 to the Rays. Garrett Cole went 6 1/3, giving up 6 hits and 2 runs. Both were solo homers, so that seems to be the only way they can not mount too many rallies, but they seem to be the solo shots that are getting them. But if you're going to give up home runs, give up solos because, you can minimize the damage. He also added 10 strikeouts to that game. He was another one who got into it with Aaron Boone. He was flipping out when he was being taken out. He was not having it. I love to see the passion, though. Man, Garrett Cole he's pretty nuts, and I love it. I do love his insanity for pitching and his insanity to win. So I was all about it. Zach Britton did take the L in that inning where he went ahead and was charged with an error. He had Luke Voigt made a nice stop at first and went to flip it to get Yadiz Diaz, but it did hit Burton in the glove. Ended up going. Diaz went to second base, so that went ahead and they ended up throwing a wild pitch to move the runners up to second and third. So he really did a lot, but they also say that's when he had his injury, when he was trying to cover first base from the flip to Voigt. Voigt did hit his 9th home run of the season, an opposite field absolute moonshot into the right field second deck. So that was nice to see. What was not nice to see, though, was yesterday afternoon's 10-5 loss of the Rays. Paxton was looking good, man. He was looking really dominant again, going 5 innings and giving up 1 hit. Problem, 4 walks. You have that many walks, and they're going to come back to bite you. Gave up 3 runs again, adding 8 strikeouts. But man, those two walks in that same inning where the Rays had gone ahead and took the lead was just, they were killer. They did it on 1 hit, and they were going ahead and they took the lead. Ottavino ended up taking the loss because him and Aviana ended up getting smacked around for 5 runs in the 6th inning. The silver lining to that was Voigt was 3 for 5 with a homer, his 10th of the year with 2 RBIs, and Gio Urshela was 2 for 4 with a homer, his 5th of the year, and driving in 2 runs. The Yanks
and ridiculous defense.
Oh, I mean, you could check the Facebook page out to see some of the freaking glove work he's been doing, man.
He's been on point,
filthy.
man.
He's filthy.
Where did he come from? It's like, where did he come from?
Bounced
It's
around.
so weird. It's so weird.
Around. He was all glove, and apparently he used to hit with not using his lower body. Yanks worked with him, got his legs more into the swing. That's where you get the power from, and bang, it all clicked for him. He's a nice, real awesome story to see, man.
Yeah, it is.
Fortunately, while we're recording now, the Yanks now trail the Rays by half a game in the AL East. That series was rough, man. I mean, just looking at it though, like I hate making excuses because what the fill-ins did last season to pick up the slack. You know, Talkman and Frazier and everyone else and their mother, because we went ahead and everyone got hurt last year. That's where the whole next man up mentality came from, and it's apparently continuing into 2020. The Rays are a good scrappy team, man. You heard me say it on here a bunch of times. A lot of respect for the Rays. If you look at it on paper, talent-wise, the Yanks dwarf them in talent, but the Rays do play with a lot of heart, man. They execute perfectly. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't beat themselves very often. You got to be on your game, and the Yanks were pretty sloppy this week.
I've seen a lot of experts actually pick them to win the East, to actually win the division. Like you said, on paper, you don't see it, but I said the way they play, the scrappy little, you want to choke them like that. They're the scrappy team they are. So I've seen a lot of people actually pick them to win, including who picked them to win out of our group? Keith? I think he picked Tampa Bay to win that division. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Might have been just a jab at me, but that's okay. I'll say, whatever. I didn't pick the Mets to win the NL East, so it's okay.
Hey, listen. The Yanks right now. We'll see what happens. I think the law of averages is going to be tough for all these players to keep going down, and the Yanks to maintain it and not miss a beat like they did last year. But we're going to find out. We'll find out soon enough. I mean, we'll get into why the Yanks won't be playing until Tuesday night, but they should have Judge back by then, so that's good. Maybe they'll have Glaber back. Maybe he doesn't hit the IL. Start getting some of the guys back. LeMahieu's on time. Stan could be right around the corner too. We'll see. So Yanks got to get their guys back. But if you're going to have this type of team running out there, teams like the Rays are going to make you pay. So you got to play crisp, flawless baseball, man. You got to play clean games. Yanks did not this week. So you can get away with that against teams like the Red Sox, but teams like the Rays that are, they're serious business. You got to play well.
Yep. So like you said, speaking of, usually now we'll do our preview of our upcoming series. Nope. There is no upcoming series.
Yeah, the Subway Series.
Postponed. We thought it would only be one game. Turns out all the games are being canceled because one player, one coach on the Mets tested positive for COVID. I said it was supposed to be one game, and now all of a sudden the whole weekend's been canceled. No idea how that's going to make up. No idea when it's going to make it up. But we do play them next week. Like I said, it might be one of the craziest doubleheader weekends you've ever seen in your life. Or they got to find space in this already very, very shortened season. I don't know. I was looking forward to the games this weekend. I think we were going to miss DeGrom, weren't we? And they were going to miss Cole.
Yeah, they were definitely going to miss Cole.
I was hoping Cole versus DeGrom, man. I really wanted to see that 1-0 game.
Yeah, I mean, it's listen. Your guess is as good as mine when that's how it's going to work out. We were talking about it before we went on today. Both the Yanks and Mets both have Monday off, and the Yanks would be traveling down to Atlanta for a game on 2-game set against the Braves Tuesday and Wednesday night, and then they're off on Thursday, and then they have another Subway Series scheduled at Yankee Stadium. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they play a doubleheader on Monday if they can, get the teams back. If it is only one player in the Mets and one coach, if they can solidify that by sometime on Sunday, perhaps they play a doubleheader Monday. Maybe they play a doubleheader. I know the Mets have the Marlins coming in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe they shift that series around and maybe free up next Thursday for both teams. They could play a doubleheader and then start making it work around that. So there could be some schedule maneuvering, 2020 schedule maneuvering, because that seems to be how it goes, where you can just schedules can flip on a turn on a dime now. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But hopefully for the Mets' sake that it is only one player and one coach and everyone else is healthy and we can get back on the field and get back to it. And
for everyone's sake. Who they just played? The Marlins. For the Marlins, too. They've already had their share of the upside down and being sick. So let's hope, like I said, one player, one coach, you're getting away easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Which to me, I don't even understand how that's even going to work. What player did not infect his teammates? It's like, how is that even possible?
I don't know. Maybe it's a guy nobody likes. I mean, who the heck knows? Because we don't even know who it is. Maybe nobody's hanging out with this guy. I don't know.
Oh, man. Real quick, I wanted to ask you about that. You put it on the page, that fake. I mean, not a fake, but it was a proposed trade.
Oh yeah.
And I almost threw my computer out the window when I read that. The proposed trade by MLB Network, was it?
Yeah, it was this. I can't remember the dude's name on MLB Network.
Well, it was Francisco Lindor of the Indians for Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar. What drugs is he smoking? Does he have COVID? He must have COVID in his brain. Because where do you give up Gleyber Torres for Francisco Lindor? Andujar, you want to do that straight up? I'll take that. We'll find a place for Lindor to play. But for Gleyber Torres, are you out of your freaking mind?
So, I mean, if we're good, I'm actually trying to pull up Lindor's stats right now because, I mean, listen, Lindor is a phenomenal player. He's a switch hitter, excellent defender. If I have to compare him and Gleyber Torres head-to-head, I mean, Lindor is the better defensive player. I will say that. I don't think I could argue with that at all. Gleyber's 23 years old. Lindor's 26 years old, so they're not that far off in age. I don't know. I mean, I think the big part that comes in with that, if that trade was there, so if you really break it down, Gleyber's a great up-and-coming young star in the game. Andujar could also be the same. He's just got to find a place to play right now. He just happens to be on a wrong team where there's no opportunities for that. Gio Urshela essentially stole his job, and Wally, he got Wally pipped over there. So there's that. I don't know, man. Lindor's going to come with a huge price tag at some point. He's going to be up for his contract soon, and the Yanks would have to pay him a tremendous amount, and they're going to have to pick and choose their spots with who they pay and who they don't pay. We've talked about Judge, his contract's going to be coming up soon. Gleyber himself would have to come up soon. So if you're going to sign Gleyber, maybe you give Gleyber's money to a Francisco Lindor, but it would have to be years earlier. So that's a tough spot. I mean, I wouldn't do the deal. I'm not for it. I think I stick with Gleyber. We'll ride it out. Financially it makes more sense for the Yanks because they have become cost conscious. This isn't, the 90s and early 2000s where it's unlimited budget for the Yanks. They're trying to stay within the threshold. That's why I would stick with Gleyber. And I think Andujar is getting dealt. He has to be. I'm just hoping he gets that value up for them so they can get something better in return because he has only done it for 1 year. I wouldn't do the deal. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I understand the logic behind it, but I personally wouldn't do it, though, simply because you got Gleyber on the cheap for X amount of years coming up. I think his defense is going to continue getting better. He's shown me more capable than Andujar's shown me capable on defense. So, I don't know. I wouldn't pull it off, but listen, I'm not knocking Lindor. Lindor is a hell of a player. He's an all-star.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking him, but like
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up on Torres so quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you were going to do something where you were going to flip those players, it was going to be Glaber for Lindor, and maybe we throw in something lesser than Andujar. I don't know if I'd be totally against that part of it. It wouldn't be complete insanity, but Andujar, I still think there's more to be shown there. So to me, that would be giving up too much. The Indians would be getting themselves a hell of a deal right there for that.
That's true. All right, let's move on to the force is strong with this one. Player of I do have it. I have it somewhere. It's hard. I said once we get that new program running up, everything will be at my fingertips. I won't have to.
The force is strong with this one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Force is strong player of the week. That's for a position player. Who you got this week? It's going to be a little harder this week.
It was a bit of a challenge, but Luke Voigt's my guy. The force is strong with Luke Voigt. You know,
we agree again. Yeah, he was on fire this week, man, and it's good too. He's starting to hit those home runs. He's starting to hit that ball. I like what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, last 7 games, he's hitting .393 with a .469 on base percentage, .964 OPS. He had 5 home runs this week, driving in 9 runs, 11 hits, and 9 runs scored. He's been crushing it, man, and especially at that 2-hole. And he did lead off one game, which is pretty wacky to see. And he's been playing some pretty solid defense this year too. I know I usually rag on his defense too, but he's been pretty good over there. I mean, he may look a little bit awkward and stuff, but he's getting it done. So
I'm honestly not a big Luke Voigt fan, but yeah, he pulled it together this week when because we need him now. So we have no idea how long about LeMahieu yet. We don't know Torres yet. Yeah. So hopefully Judge is back, but he's gonna have to pick up his stuff. So yeah, I dug what he did this week. That was good. I'm happy.
Yeah,
strong with this one.
I had to do it again just for the hell of it. All right, so nothing else to say about that. This might be a little bit harder.
It was challenging, but for not good reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have this audio, by the way. I have spoken pitcher of the week. Who do you got?
I got Garrett Cole.
See, me too. I went simple. Like I said, because he had his best game against the Red Sox. Everyone else, I was like, I didn't even know if I could pick anybody else. Britton got hurt. He went down. I went with Garrett Cole also.
I wanted to finally go with Chad Green. I was really close. He pitched once this week, so yeah, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure what's up with that. Hopefully he's okay and he's not going to pop up on the IL any day now. Please don't.
That's all we need.
No, but in 2 starts Garrett Cole had this week, he was 1-0, 13 in the 3rd innings. 18 Ks, 3 earned runs, and 11 hits. Even that game against the Rays, he didn't pitch bad. He also pitched well. Listen, again, I've said it a bunch of times on the show, his bad games are better than a majority of the guys' best games. So I'll take it. So for me, Garrett Cole has spoken this week. There was not a lot of competition, though, in all fairness. But yeah, those are my weekly awards.
Yep, same here. We agree again. This is the 3rd straight week. I think we agreed.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pick somebody really random next week just to try to keep you on your toes. You know.
Well, I wanted to go. I said I didn't want to go with Garrett Cole, but I was like, you know what? Like I said, it was his best game as a Yankee so far. He looked really good. Yeah. He was pumped up, and I said that getting swept by Tampa is no one should deserve an award from getting swept by Tampa. No. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the ups and downs of the week. Started off so high, sweeping the Sox, came crashing down, getting swept by the Rays. I'm saying overall, maybe the Yanks could need this weekend to regroup, get their shit together, see what happens if they play Monday or if they do just resume on Tuesday. I would definitely expect to see Judge in the lineup. Praying Glaber's in the lineup. Now that I've said it, now Chad Green is in my head. I'm praying to God that he's not going to be the next one to pop up. So we'll see, man. But listen, there's a lot of teams who would be worse off. Yanks are only half a game back. The sky is not falling by any stretch of the imagination. Hopefully,
not worried yet.
What I will say though is the next man up crew hopefully can hold it down again, but just a shorter amount of time. Because to expect them to carry the whole way until the playoffs again, that's going to be a lot. I just think that the odds are going to come back and not be in their favor eventually if you ask them to do too much. Hopefully, it's only like a week or two. They got to hold down the fort, get it done. They're not going to be bashing the ball out of the ballpark all the time. They can still hit some homers, but they'll have to play a little small ball, little Tyler Wade action, some situational hitting like Mike Talkman and stuff. So let's see, man. They'll bounce back.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully the Mets are one coach, one player, and that's it. Because you got to stop this damn spreading disease. It's out of control now. Yeah. I mean, it's been out of control. Duh, you know what I mean. Yeah. But as far as you would think, yeah, I'm saying it's baseball wise getting crazy. Every week a new team seems to be popping up 4 or 5 guys having it. So, well, let's hope it stops there. All right. I think it's going to wrap us up for the week. Next week, we're going to go next week. I don't know what the schedule looks like now, especially because of the makeup games. Who the hell knows?
Well, yeah, we don't know about the makeup games. I mean, they're off next Thursday for now, so maybe next Thursday on our regular time slot, Thursday night.
We'll see. Yeah, check the Facebook page, check whatever. We'll let you know when we're going to be on. Real quick, I'll plug out the other ones. I said We Stomped You Out show. They were on yesterday, but they're just like us with the schedule. And, now their Mets not even playing. I don't know when they're going to be on again. Just Too Sweet show, wrestling show. We will be on for another special Saturday night's main event episode tomorrow night. A lot to talk about in that show. Grumpy Bret Hart was back, but he wasn't too grumpy this time. But he said a lot of fun stuff we're going to talk about. Plus NXT and SummerSlam preview. Jada and Kyle, I don't know if they're going tonight or tomorrow. Probably tonight. Check them out. And I just had an awesome the other night. I was on the 4 Quarters show with my friend Jada and the boss Steve Raji. That was a great show. If you're going to check that out on YouTube or one of the other channels, we did a 4 quarters of our Mount Rushmores of baseball, basketball, football, and wrestling. And then we went off into crazy ass tangents, which is real fun. So make sure you check those out. And like I said, next week we'll figure out when. Keep an eye on the Facebook page. Keep an eye on whatever. We'll let you know. Ed, you got any parting words before we go?
Stay safe, everybody. Enjoy some baseball, hopefully. Hang in there. The sky ain't falling. The pinstripes will be back, man.
Oh, yeah, I got it here. Wait. Where'd it go?
Start spreading the news.
This for a while. Here we go. You can show Andy this, okay? Look at it pops up. Oh, it's on the bottom. Why is it so small on the bottom? Oh, because it's ticker. I don't want ticker.
Oh, it was on the ticker.
I don't want it on the ticker, though. No ticker. There we go. There we go. I popped it up for you. And as you can see it. Happy birthday, Aunt. Have a good night. Everyone, thanks for watching. Share this show out to all your friends. Make sure everyone gets to watch. See you next week.